Hello, everybody. So my slides won't be as cool and as pretty, but I mean, we'll get it done. So, Dave Christopher, Executive Director and Founder of AMPED. So we're going to start with the power of tech and business, digital literacy and business development. And the programs that we want to talk about, if we want in that space, are related to our technology workforce training and our business incubator. So this is our team, and so I didn't actually put the names of the folks here because I just wanted you to see what comes with what we're trying to do and the things that we need. So when we talk about generational wealth and having economic power and all those things, these are all the different partners. And some of these folks are actually AMP employees, some of those are partners throughout the city, but we bring technology, administration, funding, coaching, wealth. You can't see it down at the bottom, but wealth, wellness, branding, legal, accounting, advocacy, banking, and all those things. So that's the team. So what we did is we gathered all the people that are the smartest people to get this thing done because this is a real serious problem. One of the things I want to say really quickly as we go through, you can go to the next slide, is that one of the things that's really important to me is that we stop acting like this problem that we face is not about the money. It really is absolutely about the money. When we create economic power and ownership, then we have the power to change things. So the space that we're talking about, the place that we're talking about is a 15,000 square foot space, either 3 stories or 2 stories spread out over a particular space. And so on the main floor to your left, top left, on the main floor is a cafe or like a workspace where you can come and you can just kind of work in that space. But also in that space is a drop-in childcare because we know that childcare is an issue in our community when people are trying to work. And so you have some place, and that's actually connected right to the coffee shop. And on the second floor, there's a co-working space and a training center. And so that's where the technology workforce development training will go on. And we want to do that with young people. We also want to do digital literacy. In West Louisville, we have what's referred to as a digital divide. 85% of the homes don't have access to reliable internet, and most homes don't have anything beyond a cell phone in terms of technology. One of the things we know about our young people is white students at 12 years old are usually introduced to technology and then fostered through all the way to their high school year and into college in technology because they have those things around. A black student may get a robotics camp in the summer or a coding class or something like that, but there's nothing that fosters that in the home, and that's why you don't see a lot of the black students going into computer science and computer engineering. And now the issue with that is that in the technology world, you have to have 4 to 6, most times you want to have 4 to 6 years of experience in technology or a 4-year degree in something like computer science, computer engineering. Through this training center, we would take young people through internships, training in internships and technology programs, and then foster them through to college, through high school, either go directly into a career and do certificate stacking, or to go into a 4-year degree. On the 4th floor, because I believe in all of our projects, even what I'll say about nonprofits is, you must understand, a 501c3 is a tax status. We are a business, and so you have to have a revenue model. On the 3rd floor, in some place in this space, there'll be space for people to rent office spaces, right? So you can go to the next slide. That's what the space looks like at its full. That's 15,000 square foot, 3-story. If you've seen anything that we've done as far as AMP, we believe in quality because we deserve quality. We won't cut corners. We won't get by. I tell people all the time, ask for what you need to guarantee the outcome. Don't ask for what you need to get by. I was talking to somebody earlier today about your budget should look like what you want it to be, not what it is. Because what it is not what it's going to be. So put the numbers in there and ask for the money. And so I know this number is pretty close because we actually have an RFP out for another project that we're doing. And so the cost is like $7.5 million. Next slide, please. So why Madison Street? It's in the heart of West Louisville. I have a plan, it's sort of a trick, and so don't tell anybody I told you this. The plan is to get rid of the 9th Street divide. I want you to start east and start driving west, and then once you get deep into the west, you don't even realize that you cross 9th Street. And so that's what we're talking about, the heart of West Louisville. Again, I told you earlier about bridging the digital divide and creating generational wealth and building black legacy businesses. Next slide. And I think that the last question was something about how it aligns. Yeah, how it aligns. Because we want to build generational wealth, economic empowerment, living wage careers in technology. I grew up poor in Gary, Indiana. Both my parents were disabled as I was a kid, and I was working at 12 years old. When I learned technology, I found a coding book in a drawer one day and started messing around with it. Once I learned technology jobs started living wage. We have a technology training program for adults right now. We send them through a data analytics and data immersive, and in 12 weeks, we pay them 40 hours a week, $15 an hour plus free medical, And in less than a year, they're in a job paying $65,000 a year. So they went from low income to no income in less than a year, a living wage. And we built the business incubator because we didn't want to strip people from the community, and so we want to support people in the community in those businesses, and that's where the entrepreneurship piece comes from. If I've got the money in my pocket to buy a house and keep a house, and I was talking to somebody earlier today at another event about this, when we talk about affordable housing, and this may not seem popular to people when I say it, but when we talk about affordable housing is housing that you can afford. That doesn't mean the house has to go lower. You need to be able to afford it. And the way you're able to afford it is you have the money to afford it. And that's what I want to work on, and stop having these temporary things that we face out, that we talk about, where we're talking about food pantry, or all those are necessary, but they were never meant to be permanent. And so we have to realize that this is about generational wealth, economic empowerment, and all those things. Next slide. That leads to independence. And there's always been, if you know us, we're committed to community. Not knowing and understanding something is never as bad as not asking the wrong questions, the one you don't ask. If you want to get in touch with us, please do. Ready? Love y'all.
The land lease question.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about not only the land?
I don't need to own nothing. I mean, seriously, that's the least of my worries. I got plenty. I don't need to own nothing. And this is what I'll tell people all the time, is that if you say it's about the people, then do the things that say it's about the people. And here's the other part about it. If you want, because people come to me all the time with entrepreneurship saying, well, I want to give back to people. No, you don't. You want to make money, and that's okay. Like, say that. Don't say what you think Mr. Dave wants to hear. Say that. I don't need any more land. I don't. And so I'm fine with that.
We had one question in the back.
What's going on?
This is my guy? Is this that guy?
Why are you trying to silence her? Let that lady speak.
I had a question about what sorts of roles or purposes for this location will you be able to kind of fill gaps or expand upon that you are not able to at your other locations right now?
No, I mean, and this is going to sound really bad when I say this. We're going to do what we need to do regardless of, because my philosophy has always been, I'm not worried about what's to the left and right of me. I have something I need to do and I'm going to do it. And so we want to be in this space, but we're going to continue to do it however we can do it. So there's some, we're listening for other opportunities and for other things that people want us to do, absolutely. But right now, I know from experience that technology and entrepreneurship are the way to ownership and independence. And so we're not looking to try to create anything new. What we've been doing since 2014 when I founded the organization is working, and we just want to build on that. We just want to grow and expand that. Right now we have a business incubator where we're only supposed to do 20 businesses, but I can't, if people know me, I can't not do it. And so we end up with 34 businesses going through the incubator, a year-long program, because we needed to. We want to get to 100, then we want to get to 200. And one other thing I want to say real quickly too is that this is not a problem unique to Louisville, Kentucky. This is all over the country. And so we're trying to create a model, a national model that, and it needs to be simple enough. And when I say simple, I don't mean that you're not smart because you can't do it. But it needs to be a model where people have limited resources and can still do this thing. And so when you saw that first slide with all those different partners, in our model says you reach out for these people right here, and this is your team. If you can't afford to hire this person or that person, those are the things you need. So hopefully I answered your question.
We got a question in the back. We have 3 minutes left, y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
My question is kind of, for all the organizations to kind of think about, but I'm going to ask you, will you be prioritizing hiring Russell residents with like sustainable living wages?
Oh yeah, I'm all about living wages. Like for real, like that's a big thing for me. Like, and I'll say this, and I don't think my employees mind this. At AMPED, nobody that works for AMPED makes less than $25 an hour, period, plus free medical. Like, it doesn't make sense for us to be out in the community saying that we love you, we care about you, and then I got people working for me, making a poverty wage. It doesn't make sense. And so and the people that we work with, the kids we work with in our music academy, the people that we bring into our entrepreneurship program and our technology program are people from this community. And we're trying to, that's the goal, is to get because here we're not an employment agency. We can't hire everybody. What we're trying to do is create, and here's the thing about the technology training program, is we've got partnerships with Humana, Brown-Forman, Young Brands, all these organizations that are guaranteeing jobs. They're holding jobs for us. And all we have to do is train. That's why we can put that investment in. We can say, okay, I'm gonna pay you 40 hours a week, $15 an hour, plus free medical, because when you graduate, because I want you to focus on this, when you graduate and you pass that assessment, there's a job that starts at $65,000 waiting for you. And we just need to expand that.
All right, we have 1 more minute, 30-second question.
I won't make it too long. How you doing, Mr. Dave? Charles Burns here.
What's up, bro?
Singer, songwriter, actor, and also crypto consultant,
I see you.
specializing in economics and development.
All right.
So this is particularly for you, your organization, dealing with music and also economics and economic growth. So, Mr. Dave, a question for you is, pertaining to music and also economic growth, have you had anybody or any business come to you with new economic opportunities backing everything, such as cryptocurrency and also NFTs and new economic states that are coming, that are forming right as we sit down with the regulations with the United States? Have you had any businesses come to you to find a way to teach the kids about it, and also the teachers, etc.? And I just want to let you know right now, we're working with Evolve 502 and teaching the kids VR, augmented reality, and also mixed reality, and also NFTs and crypto, and they're catching on very, very fast. So fast that now the teachers want to learn. And so
thank you so much. We're going to put a pin on that question and come back to it because we need to move on, okay? All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dave.
I just wanted to